In this episode of Different Roots Radio, we are joined by the founder of Eat Fit, a trending meal prep company. As well as discussing Eat Fit's international cuisine, we also talk about starting a business because of lockdown, using Instagram as an ordering system, and getting your friends and family to act as your supply chain. Be sure to mention Different Roots Radio to get 10% off your next order. As always, smash the like, subscribe, and share buttons. And if you feel like a chat, leave us a comment on Instagram or YouTube. Without further ado, DJ, cue the intro.
Welcome to Different Roots Radio. We're joined by Niaz Ryan, who actually started off as a culinary manager for Man City for 6 years, then transitioned to experienced area manager for Audi. And after working in the corporate world, as we all kind of start off, he then said, nah, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. So he actually started off with one business, which was an events planning company called Main Street Limited. He ran that for 2 years, then sadly COVID happened, so he had to close that down because we can't gather together. But he saw an opportunity in which he now is the founder of Eat Fit, which is a meal prep company here in Manchester, and it boasts of having restaurant quality goods and also it's healthy and nutritious. So thank you very much, Niaz, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So Niaz, tell us, how did you come to think of starting meal prep? Because I know you're a big Jack guy like this.
Sure, it's just a tight t-shirt.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah, sure. That's what I want to claim too, tight t-shirt. Yeah, so tell us, so why meal prep? Why that?
Interestingly, I've wanted to get into that industry before, previously, a few years ago, but I didn't really take that first step. I had a lot going on at the time, such as finishing my degree, alongside obviously doing Main Street and working as well part-time. I think one of the things that COVID has done for me and for many people at the start was it kind of stopped everything, so everyone got a bit more time to think.
Yeah.
Literally, like when the first lockdown happened, I think it was March, everything stopped. You saw the streets, everything, even everyone's life stopped. Staying at home for so long and then having to think. To be honest, I was enjoying the first couple of weeks of doing nothing.
Yeah, we all
literally just go for a run, work out, do nothing. It was good, but after a month, it just got like I need to do something.
Yeah.
And then that was when the first step was I just started doing some recipes on Instagram. The fitness is always something I've been interested in. I've worked as a PT part-time in the past between college and uni. But yeah, fitness, healthy food, just general looking after yourself, something I like reading up on and getting involved in. So started off with the recipes on Instagram, just posting different recipes, making a few different things. And then it just then I thought, why not just do meal prep? I've always wanted to do it, never had time. So let's just create some packages, advertise it, see what the response is. Nice. And just went from there.
Nice. Were you aiming at the start at like young people, gym goers, or were you aiming just at anyone who wanted to have save time in their day, get some good meal prep, or was it mainly for people working out?
So it was mainly aimed at I think I would say the fitness people, so people that are working out or have specific goals, want to lose weight, gain weight, or just eat healthy. But I think now it's just grown out of that. A lot of our clients now are students, especially now a lot of students don't have time, especially during exam period. At certain courses as well, a lot of our clients, medical students, very intense course.
Yeah,
so
true.
They don't really have time to cook, so this basically saves them time.
Sure.
They spend a lot of time on Zoom lectures.
Yeah.
So all they got to do is go in the fridge, get the meal ready.
Isn't that the truth?
And that's it.
That's so convenient having a well-rounded meal that's you don't need to prepare for yourself, but it comes to convenience. There's actually a study that was done by American Journal of American Preventive Medicine.
Yeah.
So they actually studied to figure out what percentage of people actually goes and prepares meals. So it's actually the working class adults that are the least likely to spend time in the kitchen or prepare their own meals. So less than an hour a day is what they spend. So the fact that you're appeasing to not just working class but also to students who don't have that kind of time, who typically look for convenience opposed to finding out how to make a nice, well-rounded meal for themselves. Yeah. So kudos to you for being able to do that. And now taking it a little bit back, is that you work for Man City, right? Culinary manager. Yeah. So what kind of skills did you pick up from there, from your corporate life, that you brought into the entrepreneurship?
I think that's probably been one of the most eye-opening places I've worked, because my journey, I know I was a culinary manager when I left, but my journey didn't start in that position. So I actually started working there when I was in college. So I think what you find in Manchester is everyone their first job is usually in a football stadium. So either United or City, that's their first job.
And you bled blue in that time.
Yeah, so I ended up working there just as a cashier at first. Yeah. And then I was really interested in the cooking aspect, so I just told the manager I want to apply for that position. So just started working as a assistant chef in the kitchen. Did that for a while, a few months, and then he just offered me more hours at the time, and I just took it on. And then from there, that's when I think I started gaining that knowledge and experience in cooking as well as business life as well. I think one of the key things for me was my manager was more of a mentor rather than a manager. Yeah, so I think that made a massive difference. The business that you mentioned earlier, Main Street Limited, we started that together as well.
That's good.
So that was in a partnership with him, and I think he was a massive influence on me, my learning and the knowledge I gained.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they see good ideas in their corporate life, they kind of note it or file it away for later, for when they start their own thing. So I know, oftentimes people say, oh, you're not allowed to steal office supplies or office templates. So, but yet, people do that to say, oh, you know what, I like how my company does this. Let me grab the template or grab the recipe. Or add a little salt in it. It's mine now.
When you first started, who was making the meals, and also how big's your team now? And if it's not just you, it might be just you, but how big's your team? Who does the meal preps? And when you first started, how's that changed now?
So when we first started, it was just me doing everything. Obviously doing social media, getting the orders in, and preparing the meals as well. And then when the orders started growing, what happened was my friend is in a similar industry, and he operates a restaurant in town in Manchester. So what we did was we hired a space even in the kitchen, and we started operating from there. And then he had a few chefs. Everyone needed hours at the time. It was COVID, so we kind of helped each other, kind of balance each other. I think what you find in Manchester is amazing for entrepreneurship. It's like that network, everyone helps each other. Exactly. I'm not sure other cities might have it too.
London doesn't have it like that. Trust me.
Really?
It's like, oh yeah, let me help you. I'll take all your clients, all your money, and now your competition is gone. Job done. Who's next? Merger and acquisition. That's London. There's no helping.
That's not even a measure. That's acquisition.
Acquisition. Big dog eat little dog.
I own you now, pretty much.
Yeah. But that's the amazing thing about Manchester. Everyone kind of helps each other. So he helped me out with the space, and I took on a few staff. So there was another 2-3 people helping me, depending on the day. Some days when you're doing the prep, you don't need as many people, but when you're cooking and making the meals, then you need a team to get in there.
So actually thinking about, being able to collect the ingredients, get someone to cook it, and then someone to distribute it, how did you essentially build your supply chain? So where is it you grab your ingredients from, and then how do you find them? And you already talked about the people you work with. Now and then after that, it's the logistics. How do you get people to distribute it? Do you have a company car? Do you like just bicycle around or walk around?
Yeah.
How did you like figure out all those problems?
Yeah, so that's one of the problems that we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Kind of bootstrapping at the moment. But I think we're getting at a stage now where once my goal is to launch deliveries nationally. Currently we provide pretty much, I'd say, the Northwest, because it's within driving range and I can find people that would do it. So in terms of logistics, literally just friends. I've got a couple of friends that work regularly, so they do the deliveries.
Yeah.
Everything's ready for them, labelled, addresses, everything, and they just deliver.
And what about the ingredients?
So the ingredients, initially...
Before we talk about ingredients, have you seen his menu? This guy has he has some like sushi boxes, and he has some Cuban vaca frita.
Yeah,
Cuban vaca frita.
Someone criticised me on that the other day. I had to go on Google Translate and make sure I was right. I was right because I did my research.
What's it mean?
So it means fried beef.
Fried beef, yeah, it's like cow. Yeah. So when do you so like
that's the key thing about us. What you find is a lot of people. So I don't know if you've heard of Muscle Food. They're kind of like the leading health food company in the UK. So what they do is they just started providing, ingredients to you. So they'll send you like 5 kilos of chicken or 4 kilos of beef, and then you can make your own meals. And then they started meal prep as well. But the thing with them is their meal preps are frozen. So you're getting frozen meals. I think the portion size is not great as well. Obviously, I'm not trying to criticise and beat myself up. But their portion size is not big enough. And
portions are important for us.
Portions are important.
But also portion control.
But if you're training, you can just eat as much as you want. You've got to get the gains in.
Exactly.
Says a skinny man. That's the guy trying to cut.
I'm trying to get more weight. You're trying to get less weight. Can we just borrow some of your weight?
I wish you could do that.
He's right in the middle. Look at this. He's like
too slim, too big. Just right.
So I'm assuming it's because of the way you eat and the way you source your ingredients.
I try, Like I said, sometimes it's a lifestyle. Like if you try to force it on yourself, it's very hard. So if you make those small changes and try, maybe if you're not eating healthy at all, maybe try to eat one healthy thing a day, then eat 2 the next week, maybe 3 the next week. It's just making those small changes and kind of making it a lifestyle. If you force it on yourself, your body will just reject it.
I feel like you could help me because I said this
Us. Don't be selfish.
No, but
I'm getting new customers here.
Yeah, exactly. Because I used to only eat meat till a few years ago, and now I'm trying to eat like not meat. I mean, eat meat every day, but I'm trying to eat like protein, like veggie burgers, and like veggie sausages and all these things, so that I'm not just eating burger, pizza, sausages, chicken like, every day.
Your mama would be so proud of you too.
Right. But when I try to let me not eat meat today, and I eat like pasta, I'd eat it all, and I'm like, I'm still hungry. I feel like I haven't eaten meat. But now if I get like a Beyond Meat burger and I eat it, I feel okay, I've had a burger. So it kind of like tricks my brain into thinking I've had it. So I think your meal prep could be pretty helpful for me because I struggle to not just eat meat every single meal. So
good.
It's Nigerian heritage, I guess.
Yeah.
We love
our meat.
we love to eat a few animals.
Yeah, we do.
No, I agree. I think it's just all about balance. So like eat meat, but eat the right amount of meat, basically. So you don't. It's not about restricting yourself. Just finding the right balance. So you don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it as well.
True. So out of the stuff the meals that you already prepared, what's been like your most recent favorite that you've kind of come across, and get inspired and be like, you know what, let me distribute it to all my lucky customers. What's your favorite meal that you currently offer?
So I'll talk about the customer's favourite, then I'll speak about mine.
Because
I've had a bit of stick recently.
Oh, is that right?
So the menu changed about 3 weeks ago. So I try to keep it fresh.
Good.
Just to make sure people you don't want to eat the same dish for 3 or 4 months.
No way.
So we try to keep the menu fresh. And one of the dishes we had on the old menu was Mongolian beef steak. So just served with like roasted peppers and rice. So you've got some protein in there, some veg and some carbs in there, just a nice balance. But that dish was really popular, and as soon as it came off, people just started coming in my DMs. It's like, oh, where's the Mongolian beef?
Where's the beef?
Like,
you want beef? Where's the
obviously,
beef?
some people wanted change, and others didn't want change.
People don't like change. We like change. We like progress, but people don't really like change. We like innovation, but not change.
So it was a radical change.
Radical change.
And Yeah, I got a bit of stick for it, so
Had to bring it
it'll be
back.
coming back soon. It's not come back yet. I had to keep a balance.
But shouldn't you expand your menu instead of like
That's-
rotating it?
That would be the goal.
But then
definitely.
it's harder to, I
Yeah.
guess, prepare 20 different things
Yeah.
instead of just like 6.
You know, at the same time is when you are cooking in bulk kind of thing, you got to be mindful of food waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So how do you even manage that? Like,
Yeah.
I know that maybe you have a database of you know what people want to eat,
Yeah.
the portion size, and then do you then cook and go out and buy the stuff,
Yeah.
or do you just buy in bulk, put in your fridge? Sorry,
Not
sorry.
the
Sorry,
freezer.
yeah,
Not any
no
freezers.
Yes.
Don't use any freezers.
So how do you prevent food waste? Long story short.
Yeah, so I think my previous experience has been really useful in this new business. So from working at Man City, I've watched the chefs and seen how they manage their waste and stock control. So that's been useful. But the way I do it now, we get orders in advance, so I know what I need to order.
Good.
However, you still need to order a tiny bit of both. But most of the time we're pretty exact and we have little waste. And if there is anything left over, we don't really waste it. So what I did was, obviously it's COVID and a lot of people have been struggling. So over the past few months we've had specific days where we just advertise on Instagram and we just said, if anyone needs, if you know someone or yourself, you need any meals or need help with any food, just message us and we'll deliver it to you. And we've done it just because why would you throw something in the bin? That's
Yes,
something you
and that's how you gain goodwill.
That's really
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
And the thing is, there's a company called Yumi Sushi in London,
Yeah.
and it's like just like I love a bit of teriyaki chicken and rice, so teriyaki duck and rice. And at the end of every day, they like that's why I'm like a loyal member of them, a loyal customer. They always used to, at the end of the day, they like give you all their sushi instead of throwing it away. But first it'd be like half price, then a quarter price, and when they're closing, like just take it because it's going in the bin.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, oh, so every day I went there.
every day at 5:01.
Went there, they got some-
No.
The other days I go there and like actually get stuff in the middle of the day.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like they got my like look forever. I'll always
Yeah.
go back to them because they did that. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Instead of you hear about how many clothes get wasted, how much food gets wasted. So it's really good with it. Especially in COVID, you're helping people
Yeah, exactly.
while not
Definitely.
wasting food. So.
I think it should be common sense as well. Like, it's common. Obviously, common sense is not as common as they say.
Yeah.
But if you're throwing things in the bin, someone else can make use of it. It's just common sense, literally.
True.
Do you, what would you say is like your USP that makes you different? Well, you said a few things.
Yeah.
But what makes you different to other
Subscription or meal plans.
meal preps? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I saw on your Instagram you said like nutrient labeled.
Yeah.
Do you like clearly put like how do
Yeah.
you do it? Because you know when you look at nutrients, it's so confusing. They're like
Yeah.
this point
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and you're like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
All
So
everyone cares about is the calorie number.
That's
man.
the only thing
That's-
people care about. I don't know what this.
So that, and alongside, so obviously in the fitness industry, there's 3 macronutrients that
Yes.
everyone focuses on. So your fat, your carbs, and your protein.
Yeah.
Obviously your calories as well, but that's the big number. So we just try to focus on those key macronutrients, fat, carbs, and proteins, which people want to target anyway. Most people don't really want to know the rest. Rest of the ingredients. We don't have any additives and preservatives anyway, so we don't need to put that on anyway. If everything's made fresh. So that's one of the key USPs. A few people do that. So one of the key things for us is the quality of the meals. My background, obviously working in a football stadium, just seeing like some world-class food served in front of me and being involved in making it in large scale as well as working in some restaurants as well, and my friends being in the same industry, being around that sort of food, the quality has been the main focus. We stayed away from being frozen, and everything is just bought in weekly fresh.
Yeah.
The fish, the chicken, everything's fresh. And the quality, so whenever we design a new dish, do a lot of research in terms of making sure it's restaurant quality, but it also makes sense on the nutrients.
True.
Because a lot of dishes are fine, I'm like, this is so nice. And then I look at the calories and stuff like that. I can't put it on the menu.
That's where you lose it. So actually thinking about it is there's another businesses out there that do subscription, not just meal plans, but subscription of groceries.
Yeah.
So a very common one is HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Right? So essentially, for those that don't know, it's delivery of a week's worth of food for either 2 people, 4 people, 6 people. You know, and then if you're one person, you get the the box for 2 people, and you should be able to stretch it out for the course of the week. So in that, it's just the ingredients and it's not the meal itself, right?
Yeah.
So with that, would you see them as a direct competitor, or indirect, or how would you want to be able to
Interesting you mentioned that. I was looking at them, and a friend mentioned it because she ordered from them. I think they are in direct competition, but we're coming for them. Yeah. I think we can improve what have you ordered from them?
Yeah.
So how was it?
How was it?
Interesting.
Are they paying you to
get this market research?
Well, my pockets are very empty right now.
I know. Pay advertising.
But I'll be honest. When I did try it out, I did a trial sample. I think it was for like 2 boxes.
Yeah.
And generally, it's very basic meals. But however, it's meals that I won't readily think of myself. Right. So it's, if anything, the biggest perk to me is the recipe cards that come with it. Yeah. So I can say, okay, after I'm done HelloFresh, I can then look at the recipe cards, go to the grocery store, and cook it myself. So I guess it's, you provide the extra convenience, right? Yeah. So it's fresh food that comes to your place. But I guess for HelloFresh, they lose that little element. But again, for bachelors like me that just eats up rice and puts a little ketchup and calls it a meal, it's a nice way of having a little more elegant meal.
Yeah, definitely. So do they send proteins in that box as well, like chicken and beef, or?
Yeah. So they usually send in a little like freezer isolated bag, so foam lined, and then they put a little ice bag in it, and then they zip it together. So it's convenient for those that want to be able to learn how to cook new meals. Yeah. But if you don't even have that time. Yeah, if you want to save time. Then you can go with
that's the next step for us. Yeah. We'll be coming for them soon.
Alright, I say you've been warned. HelloFresh. You've been warned.
You have a competitive edge in you. I see on your Facebook it says we were voted top 10 meal prep places for Metro newspaper. Yeah. And then you wrote soon coming for #1 spot.
Yeah.
This is an entrepreneur mindset. You're just like I want to beat everyone.
Yeah.
So
I think if you're in the industry and you're not like trying to get to the top, like, even though I want to say I want to get to #1, but if you keep working, you might not get to #1, but you've gone from 10 to 5,
exactly.
5 to 1, just step by step process.
Yeah. But I think the best thing, like you said, is being able to like help them figure out what you want to eat. Because I go to the supermarket, I'm like, what am I going to eat tonight? And just wander around. But the good thing about you guys is your website, your food pictures look like gourmet.
Oh,
it looks like gourmet.
Your Instagram page is actually next level. I'm like, I'm hungry.
Do you have a professional photographer?
No, it's just me at the moment.
Really good phone.
Yeah.
Is it really phone?
It's just a normal.
Is it Samsung and iPhone?
It's a normal Samsung.
Samsung.
Android over here.
Android gang over here, definitely.
Alright.
But yeah, most of the thing at the moment I'm doing it myself, so the social media. I think I need to figure out a way, because what we've done is we've built like a community. We've got regular customers. They can communicate with us quickly. We respond to them quickly.
How do you even manage the influx? Is it like you have an app, or is it just everything goes to your Google Mail or your Live Mail or whatever?
So everything at the moment, one of the key things is everything is done through Instagram. That's one of the unique things about us. So we've seen all this growth just from Instagram.
Nice.
So the next stage is we're currently working on an app, which will make it easier. So at the moment, what I would say is it's harder for us, but it's easier for our customers, because they get a response straight away. If there's a problem,
more personal.
Exactly, and I think that's what they like the most about it. They'll message us and they'll have a response straight away. Any issues they're dealt with straight away.
Okay, so how do you compare your prices to other people in the industry? Are you above, below your competitors?
I would say we're pretty cheap compared to the quality we provide. So in terms of competition, we're basically around the same, if not like lower. So our prices start from £4.95 going up to £5.95 for more expensive dishes like salmon or beef.
For one meal?
Yeah.
That's
That's half of what I pay for most of my meals.
Exactly.
That's,
what you mean this McDonald's drive-through.
It's so much cheaper than takeaway.
Yeah.
And obviously healthy as well. But yeah, in terms of competition, we're pretty much below the competition, especially in London. A lot of the London-based price is higher. But generally speaking, the quality that we provide for the price, you won't find it with anyone. I've actually set this challenge on Instagram once, that if you find someone who provides the same quality for the same price, tell me and I'll give you a refund.
Yeah.
wow.
That's a Walmart guarantee, man.
Yeah.
Match your lord.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's awesome.
Do you have do most people just buy one meal, or do they buy like a week of meals, or
So
do you have different packages?
our average
Not really.
spend is usually £50 plus.
5
Yeah, so we most of the time people order for a week. You'll have some people that order just for 3-4 days because it just gives them a bit more time, free time in the week. But mostly it's just a week. It gets delivered on Sunday, and then some people order breakfast, lunch and dinner, some people order just lunch and dinner, some people will order just lunch. It just depends on their schedules.
And with these meals, if you buy it on Sunday, what's the shelf life like?
So the shelf life is between 4 and 5 days, depending on the dish. So for instance, the pasta and rice-based dishes usually last 4 days. Some of them can last 5 days as well, particularly the pasta. But yeah, generally 4 to 5 days in the fridge.
Maybe not sushi.
Yeah, not the sushi.
Maybe not sushi.
Not the
after 5
sushi.
You're a
days.
sushi king, man.
Yeah.
I love a bit of sushi.
I can tell you're referring to sushi.
Because it's so expensive.
It is.
So it's like so hard to find. Like in America, it's a lot cheaper. So like when I'm on holiday, I eat loads of sushi. But here, I'm like London, they're like, yeah, you have these 3 pieces. That'll be £25. And then you cut them in half.
Portion control.
Portion control.
So, speaking of portion control, let's even talk a little bit about diet culture. Yeah. So, diet culture being the idolization of skinniness. So, a lot of people try to equate their personal virtue or their health to, oh, do I look like Channing Tatum? Do I look like Jennifer Lawrence? Kind of thing. So, those people are in Hollywood. They have trainers, they have nutritionists. But a lot of people don't see themselves as important or don't see themselves as desirable because of this. My diet doesn't allow me to be sexy.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that?
I think that's a very interesting subject. One of the big things I think that's had an influence on it is social media culture. It's mentioned a lot in the news, and I think everyone's aware as well, particularly like Instagram and Snapchat. I think people see someone post something and then they think that is healthy, but that's not necessarily healthy. That person could be experiencing a lot of health problems behind it. Particular diet they could be on could be restricting them in certain vitamins or certain things that their body needs. So I think what we need to do is definitely just not promote that image on social media.
Yes, I think on top of that, it's people, the images we see are always like airbrushed or have filters on it, kind of, right? So I do know that there have been more movements now for makeup-free pictures or untouched photos.
Yeah,
to be
I woke up
published.
like this and like the natural ones. Yeah,
Yes.
no hashtag no makeup.
Exactly. So when that kind of movement takes root in the stem of society, maybe then there'll be less need of having to look a certain way, or less need of being, I need to be 6-pack and have, those, what are those lines?
I got those lines, the V lines,
The V lines,
very desirable. I mean, people do say I look a bit like Anthony Joshua sometimes, so it doesn't really apply to me.
What, in the dark? And
To a blind person.
Yes, Stevie Wonder said that.
Since I started working out, but it's weird because back in Victorian times they used to think that if you were big or if you're really fat, it shows you're wealthy.
Exactly,
it
I
shows
think
affluent.
before food.
So like all the kings and the queens were like super big, and like they had those dresses with the thing in the back to like make your butt look bigger.
Yes, the Kardashian look.
Yeah, they do that like 200, 300 years ago.
Yeah, it's still common in some cultures. Like
Yeah.
What you said.
Definitely Nigeria, man.
Yeah.
If you got like belly,
Oh,
Easy
yeah.
can afford
that's that belly's money.
Means you're well fed.
It's means you're well fed. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, I think we've criticized Instagram a lot.
Yeah.
So hopefully don't ban us.
No.
We love Instagram.
No,
We
no,
love
no.
Instagram.
It's food. It's not
Yes.
people we're promoting. No.
But I think it has positives as well. It depends on, people say your circle influences you. I think your social media circle influences you as well. If you're following the right pages that are promoting health rather than a certain image of your body, then that's what you need to do. Because I follow a lot of pages that have they focus on health rather than how you look, in terms of what you eat, nutrition, eating good. If you follow those kind of pages and you see that image every day, you're not going to want
Exactly. You won't be left wondering. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I follow a few people and they're like normalizing stretch marks and they're like, look, all women have stretch marks.
Especially after childbirth.
After childbirth, and then like Lizzo, who's like a famous singer, she's always like, I'm big, but I like work out a lot and I'm healthy, so like this, I'm happy in my body. So you guys should all stop like commenting hate shit because it's true. Like
love hurts. I know that. I know that.
Like this guy dropping lyrics, but yeah, you could be like super fat, but you could be a lot healthier than someone who looks really skinny because they could be anorexic, malnourished, and a really big person could be training every day and like eating well and eating vegetables. So it's not really how you look; it's really your like you said.
Well, thanks a lot for coming in today to share us the insights of what goes on with Eat Fit. And now if you can just have some words of wisdom that you'll be able to share to the up-and-coming guys that want to take you out of place, because you want to take HelloFresh out of place.
I'll do my best. I mean, I'm still getting wiser myself as we go on.
Yeah.
But I'll share the wisdom I've gained so far.
Yeah, sure. All right. Talk to it. Let me hear you.
Okay, so I think one of the key things and the struggles of being an entrepreneur is the voice in the back of your head initially when it keeps telling you there's no point, don't start, just chill, just watch Netflix, just relax. But I think you have to do something to click out of it. Sometimes it's just taking a risk. Sometimes, a lot of times you'll fail, not even sometimes, many times you'll fail. There's a lot of things I've done that I've failed with personally. As mentioned earlier, Main Street Limited, it was an events business. We were doing street food festivals, gained some good clients such as St. Helens Council, massive client, and then pandemic hit, no one is doing any social gatherings and it shut down. But that was another opening for Eat Fit. So you just have to make sure you just keep going and don't stop.
Nice. All right. Thanks a lot, Niaz. We really appreciate it. And how could our listeners be able to reach out to you or get some nice healthy nutrition boxes into their fridges, not their freezers?
Got a gift for you
guys.
We love gifts.
So
I'll take it.
If
Christmas always comes early.
If anyone wants to place an order, you can place orders on Facebook and Instagram. It's at EatFitMCR. Just make sure you quote different routes and you'll get 10% discount on your order.
Appreciate that.
I'll be using that discount tomorrow myself.
Tomorrow? I'm on it right now.
That ding dong.
No, that's quick.
I'll do this.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot. We look forward to seeing what's next for Eat Fit
And tasting what's next for Eat Fit.
Thank you.
And then we'll look forward to nationwide delivery coming
soon.
Coming soon. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Different Roots Radio on YouTube, Twitter, and other channels. Our talks air on Monday every fortnight. One love.
Peace.